two very special island habitats.
The coral cays of the Great Barrier Reef would be at the top of the list for most tourists to Australia, and for a good reason. But there are many other islands sprinkled around our coastline which are just as special, each one with its own diverse environment and wildlife.
Sitting off the coast of South Australia lies Kangaroo Island. It's Australia's third largest island, and as the name suggests, was named after the kangaroos English explorer Matthew Flinders encountered in 1802. These macropods are the only kangaroo species found on the island, a subspecies of the western grey kangaroo. But chances are, if Flinders had approached the island from the south, he just may have named this place Seal Island. These are New Zealand fur seals. Despite their name, they are native to both New Zealand and Australia. Only 35,000 seals are found in our chilly southern waters, stretching from Western Australia to Tasmania. The majority of that population, more than 20,000, are found on Kangaroo Island, and their numbers are growing. National parks and wilderness protection areas have been established to protect the seal breeding grounds. For example, the beaches of Cape de Koodi lie within the Flinders Chase National Park. Boardwalks and viewing platforms have been built to keep tourists off the beach, but in perfect proximity to view the rugged shoreline and exquisite wildlife. This area, known as Admiral's Arch, is a haul-out area. Here, the seals drag themselves out of the surf after a long night's fishing to lazily lounge throughout the day. The colony is primarily inhabited with nursing mothers and pups. Early in the breeding season, bull seals establish a territory with several females. Once the pups are born, the bulls go walkabout, leaving the females to raise the playful youngsters on their own. Of course, Kangaroo Island is a sanctuary to more than seals. With more than half of the island's vegetation intact, and much of that protected by national and conservation parks, there is an abundance of wildlife here that is now rare or extinct on the mainland. One such animal is the glossy black cockatoo, an endangered species. Kangaroo Island is home to South Australia's only population, about 250 birds. Here they find a rare combination of tree species: sugar gums, utilised for nesting hollows, and casuarinas, which supply this attractive bird's only food source. Black cockatoos are notoriously fussy eaters. Out of an entire grove of trees, they may only choose one casuarina to dine from. It's one of the mysteries of this rare bird, which attracts bird watchers from all over the world to this location. Sometimes areas are so special they are given World Heritage status. Fraser Island is one such place. Fraser is the world's largest sand island, stretching 124 kilometres along Queensland's southern coast. It covers an area of 163,000 hectares and formed over 800,000 years ago. Scientists believe this massive sand first eroded off the tablelands of northern New South Wales, then was carried here, grain by grain, by strong ocean currents. Although Fraser is best known for its sand dunes and long beaches, it's the island's incredibly diverse habitats that make it utterly unique. There are pristine freshwater lakes, coastal mangrove swamps that serve as nature's fish hatcheries, lowland heathlands that come alive with wildflower blooms in early spring, and dense rainforests, this one aptly named the Valley of the Giants. It's hard to believe these trees, which stretch over 100 metres above the ground, are anchored in sand. They obtain nutrients from layers of decaying rainforest vegetation, much of it their own. Towering Saturnae and brush box are among these giants, some over 1,000 years old. This vigorous vegetation is kept alive by the island's steady supply of fresh water. From these forests run the many creeks and streams that supply the island's 40 freshwater lakes. There are 3 types of lakes on Fraser. The most interesting are the perched lakes and barrage lakes. Perched lakes, like Lake Mackenzie, are formed high in sand dune depressions. Lake Wabi is a pristine example of a barrage lake. Barrage lakes are formed when springs are blocked by the damming action of a sand blow. These moving mountains of sand are blown into the island's interior by coastal winds. They are the tropical version of glaciers, slowly engulfing anything in their path. Yet it's this same sand that attracts so many to Fraser. An almost perfectly straight beach forms the island's eastern coastline. This is the most recreational part of the island, where ocean anglers, four-wheel drives, and games of beach cricket dot the landscape. The northwestern side of the island forms the border of the Hervey Bay Marine Park, a haven for humpback whales.